In Japan, railways are so integral to daily life, people often take them for granted. We wondered if there wasn't a way to remind people of the romance and adventure of rail travel. So we researched the history of train stations across the country. We also searched social media for mentions of stations and people's memories of visiting them. Based on this research, we created woodcut-style stamps for each station and a web app for collecting stamps on a smartphone when passing through a station. Rail travel became more fun. People visited more stations to collect more stamps. Even everyday commuting became an adventure. It made people want to discover new sights and attractions. They began to think about railways in an entirely new way and saw the country in a whole new light. To support the campaign, we created in-station billboards. Participants could also win stamp books, posters, and promotional items. With our campaign, we created an emotional connection between people and trains and started an interactive dialogue to help shape the railways of tomorrow. My Japan Railway.
Três anos atrás, você perceberia que eu estava sorrindo. Hoje, você não pode ver se estou feliz ou triste.
Las rutinas son muy difíciles de mantener. Básicamente te hacen sentir a veces infantil, a mí me da tristeza.
Parkinson's is a neurodegenerative disorder, so the earlier you start the exercise, the more likely you are to preserve your muscles.
Using an open-source AI platform, we developed an app that leverages the built-in camera to recognize users' facial expressions and translate them into browsing actions. We applied the most important facial expression exercises into our app, turning a smile into a like, a surprise face into scrolling down, a disgust face into scrolling up, a sad face into play, and an angry face into swipe.
Exercise is very important. It strengthens the muscles and also strengthens the connection between the muscles and the brain, generating biofeedback. You express an emotion and then you feel that emotion more intensely, improving brain activity.
The Scrolling Therapy app allows users to control the most popular social media platforms with their faces, receiving visual confirmation that they're doing their exercises correctly.
O que me separa de outras espécies é nossa capacidade de transmitir as emoções. É nosso bem mais prezado.
Football's greatest competition has faced some big questions.
The most controversial World Cup in history.
1,200 deaths have already stemmed from the heat.
Death is a natural part of life, whether it's at work, whether it's in your sleep.
The most deadly Middle East construction project since this one.
FIFA World Cup spenders speak to the world like they're in a parallel universe.
The World Cup shouldn't be here. It shouldn't be here.
My name is Adas. I died in Qatar.
Boa noite a todos, antes de mais.
O Dia dos Direitos Humanos.
Quando comemorassem, se lembrarem dessas pessoas.
Defender valores que estão associados.
Forgotten Team is the campaign that restored my faith in the humanity of brands.
The winner to organize the FIFA World Cup is
Food inflation was impossible to ignore in 2023.
The biggest places where you see it are in groceries.
It's unprecedented. 5.8 million Canadians are food insecure.
Food prices last month surged.
Flour, bread, eggs. You can't buy.
Actually, I mostly rely on the food banks these days. I can't even really afford to feed my family.
We have families struggling to buy food for their kids. They see you making record profits. How can you justify that?
The Inflation Cookbook, an inflation-fighting grocery shopping tool designed to help Canadians take inflation out of their cart. We created an algorithm that crawled online supermarket websites in real time, monitoring weekly price changes, tracking over 400 key ingredients across all of Canada's major retailers to determine a national average pricing trend, identifying which items are up or down based on the previous week. Users could personalize to their location, family size, and budget to receive a weekly Smartest Cart filled with the top average price drop items, plus a list of top price hikes to know what to leave on the shelf. They could explore each recommended cart item's trajectory over time with interactive price charts. Then they could buy their weekly inflation cart items on Skip Express Lane, a grocery store agnostic delivery service arriving at their door in under 25 minutes. With the help of a renowned chef and a top nutritionist, each inflation cart was turned into healthy AI-generated recipes, because shopping smart shouldn't mean eating unhealthy. To further streamline the rapid response and recipe creation, Midjourney was used to create hyper-real food photography in minutes. Launched in partnership with the Globe and Mail, the largest publication in Canada, we brought the service to over 2 million Canadians.
There is something now called the Inflation Cookbook.
Trying to help Canadians battle inflation with a new AI-powered cookbook resource.
Canada's first ever inflation-fighting grocery and meal planning tool, the Inflation Cookbook.
The Inflation Cookbook, taking inflation out of your cart.